Blake Lively is completely finished. You can see that no one in Hollywood is willing to have any interaction with her anymore. She might be on the verge of losing everything because she's received a new accusation, but this time it's not from Justin Baldoni. In court on Monday, she didn't gain anything. The judge sided with Justin and rejected Lively's request for a gag order. Now Jed Wallace, who was once accused by Lively of using social media to hire haters to smear her, has also filed a defamation lawsuit against Lively. If Lively loses the lawsuit, she will have to pay $7 million to Wallace. On the runway, Ellen Pompeo was huddled with others, shaking hands and chatting. The distance between her and Lively could fit a truck. Especially when Justin's lawyer revealed that Justin was locked in the basement by Lively for an hour during filming.
All my friends and family for over an hour because I wasn't allowed to be seen.
What's even worse is that if Lively messes up all the lawsuits, Ryan Reynolds might abandon her. Then Lively will lose her reputation, her job, and even her family.
Welcome back to Grab Your Brew, and if you're new, welcome. Please like and subscribe. I'm sorry if my voice cuts out, my throat is very sore. But this week, I guess it's a Blake, Ryan, and Justin Baldoni update with a dose of Taylor in there somewhere. So go ahead, grab your brew, and join me as we unfold this ridiculous drama. I know it's a little bit like the Paranormal Activity movie. I'm going a little backwards before I go forwards, but hey, at least Paranormal Activity is more believable than Blake Lively playing the victim card, right? Go ahead and grab your brew. So let's recap first. So Blake was being her spoiled little nepo baby self and using Justin as putty in her hands, and Ryan got upset over her lady boner and came back from strike with a list of ridiculous demands and also threatened to use the SA card with Sony. Like, bruh.
Forever, just for the run of the movie, but I could be wrong. Blake hires Taylor Swift's music video editors to do her version while she's filming in Italy for something. Blake has a friends and family screening to get thoughts with a lot of A-listers, Ben Affleck, Bradley Cooper, I think, etc., etc. Everyone was like, huh? This movie makes no effing sense. Blake realizes she needs to hire an experienced film editor to fix it. Blake uses a Taylor Swift song in the movie that the studio loves having in there. I do believe that. And she was absolutely using that song as a way to get control. We're learning that from Justin's suit, I think, as well. Taylor Swift finds out that the original composer for the movie is someone she worked with in the past that was mean to her. And she says, it's either me or him. Sony fires that composer to keep the Taylor Swift song. That's everything I know. Now, again, this second half.
Give her what she wants. And so he did. Right? He gave her what she wanted while still doing it with poise and just being his genuine nice self and still being like, oh, I'm pro-women, because we know he's a very dedicated feminist, right? But no, Blake still wasn't happy. So after the SA threats and the threats with Ryan and Taylor that her trash version was the best, so on so forth with that malarkey, even after he bent over backwards to her every whim, she somehow can't fathom the fact that nobody likes her because, well, for one, you're trying to promote hairline products around a very sensitive subject. I've read the book and I saw your version, Blake, and it was trash. And I feel like there was, I wouldn't say trash, I feel like it was like a Lifetime movie, like I'm mad I paid to see it. Because I've seen Justin's work, and Justin's work is very emotional. But, again, she can't fight him, no one likes her. And
while others are full on coming out, mutual friends of ours from high school, like literally talking trash, to say it nicely. There's not so nice things remembered about her, and it's all kind of sad. She was in cheer and choir, I believe, and we were all in ASB at the same time, and we were all, good students, 4.0 and above. But some of us were a little bit nicer than others, if you know what I mean. And so there's a lot of us from high school who aren't that surprised about the nasty stuff that has come out. So Anybody from Burbank High want to chime in? Or what are your thoughts?
Oh, Muffin, it's so hard being you. I've muted some people. There's a couple people that I have muted. Good. Yeah. Well, I met Blake. I worked with her husband Ryan several years ago, so I met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film. And you know, and thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. Look at the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly, T?
Don't touch me.
You won't believe the tea we've got today. The streets are buzzing, and Hollywood insiders are whispering about a feud that's been brewing behind the scenes. That's right, Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick, two of Hollywood's brightest stars, are allegedly not as friendly as they appear on screen. We all love their chemistry in A Simple Favor, but turns out the set was anything but simple. Reports are swirling that things got so tense between these two that even the director was caught in the crossfire. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the drama. After this, you'll never look at their on-screen friendship the same way again.
We didn't really get a glimpse into how they interacted with each other until they started their press tour, and let's just say the interviews were very tense.
Because I think we're the only person who can tell ourselves that we're good and that we're to give ourselves confidence, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it feels good when Anna gives me confidence too. I like compliments. I'm not below compliments. My mom always says. She's like, wants me to compliment her, and she's like, I'm not below compliments. I'm like, it's clear that you're not, because she's always listening.
Oh, because you were just telling me about like weird expressions that she gets wrong. Wouldn't it be I'm not above compliments?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, she gets it all wrong. I never even thought about it. She says that, yes, she's not above compliments. My mom gets everything sort of
like expressions. She was just telling me like the like.
She'll be like,
funny.
smooth as pie. She'll be smooth as silk or whatever.
Easiest pie.
Yeah, and smooth as silk. But my mom, I think, is a very confident person, and so for me, yeah, I sort of like struggled with that because I've sometimes judged her for being so confident, which I think is like not fair. Right?
Yeah, you're such a bad daughter.
Terrible daughter.
That was such an uncomfortable interview to watch. This person commented, "Why do I feel like Blake and Anna are trying to act like they get along? They sound fake." Another person writes, "Blake Lively, the queen of mean girl energy." Another person writes, "Wow, Anna is definitely the smart one here."
So clearly from childhood, Blake has not been a likable person. And then, sadly, the joke was still on Justin because she still went ahead and filed a complaint anyway. Let me point out that it was a complaint and not a criminal charge. Let's go ahead and see what Candice has to say because she explains the whole legal jargon for us.
Saying Blake Lively being sued for defamation by crisis PR firm in It Ends With Us feud. The lawsuit that has been dropped actually confirms what I told you earlier, that I had it on perfect authority, that Blake's original filing, which was with the Californian Civil Rights Department, that complaint was supposed to be the only filing. It was the ultimate bad PR response to what they wrongly assumed was a PR attack that was happening against Blake, being orchestrated by Justin Baldoni. And like, I will show you this map again of all the PR firms. I think Leslie Sloan has been terrible. I mean, I don't know them from a hole in the wall, but I'm telling you, if I had this PR firm, I am dropping them. They have gotten it wrong every step of the way. And Jonesworth PR got involved in this petty drama. They all made a very bad decision to push this, assuming that no, it couldn't all be happening. There must be a magic hand behind this. Everybody loves us. Everybody loves Blake and her hair products. And then they find out that actually it's looking like no one coordinated it. And maybe people like me and the internet have our own thoughts. Okay. So I want to explain to you just the CRD complaint, why that strategy, what the strategy was supposed to be, okay? The intention when you just want to file a complaint and not file a court case is that you can be a little loose on the details, okay? You can stretch the truth, fabricate, because there's no one that's going to necessarily fact check anything in a way that would come back and be detrimental to you, okay? In case you don't know exactly what it means, because a lot of people are like, what is a civil rights complaint? I don't even know really much about this. It essentially means that you're going down to the civil rights department and you say, my civil rights have been violated at my job because I believe that I have been subjected to discrimination or harassment or retaliation. So you submit a filing and then you wait. And if the office takes a look at your case and they decide, okay, we're going to green stamp this. They then launch an investigation and they reach out to respondents, so people that you have named in this case. And then they will typically demand that the parties involved meet to mediate and try to resolve things before escalating matters if they truly believe that your civil rights have been violated. That is what Blake wanted. She wanted to be able to file that, take it to the New York Times, get them to take down Justin Baldoni, and who knows, like, it would have maybe been like, okay, we're going to resolve this in the background now. So when filing this complaint, she did embellish a bit, and she included as a defendant, this is very important, she included as a defendant a man named Jed Wallace. Okay, so I'm showing you this CRD filing, and you can see it says Jed Wallace and his firm, which is Street Relations Incorporated. He is the owner of a crisis firm down in Texas, and that is Street Relations Incorporated. And so they listed him as an actual defendant, meaning he is guilty of these things which we allege that are violating my civil rights. Well, I'm going to just read for you what she actually said about him in the CRD complaint as well, because it's relevant to why he is suing her. She wrote, the retaliation campaign relied on more than just publicists and crisis managers. They also retained subcontractors, including a Texas-based contractor named Jed Wallace, who weaponized a digital army around the country from New York to LA to create, seed, and promote content that appeared to be authentic on social media platforms and internet chat forums. The Baldoni Wayfarer team would then feed pieces of this manufactured content to unwitting reporters, making the content go viral in order to influence public opinion and thereby cause an organic pile-on. So she's saying this is the guy. Like, this is the guy. He was the person they used and got the internet to turn against me, which that would be a big thing. She could show a smear campaign was organized. The New York Times went and they ran with this, okay? That filing, don't forget, December 20th. Then mysteriously, just 11 days later, she changes her mind. She has a change of heart when peer pressure mounts and the public isn't stupid and they go, wait a second, this is just a CRD complaint. If this is all happened to you, file this in court. And then she goes, okay, now we got to file it in court to save our own PR. 11 days later, she mysteriously drops them as a defendant. So what happened? This is the lawsuit that she filed in New York 11 days later. And now all of a sudden you don't see Jed. Okay, it was a pretty strong allegation you made about Jed in the CRD complaint. What happened in 11 days? What happened that you suddenly said Jed no more? Well, Jed thinks he knows what happened. She was on some BS. That's what happened. It was PR, absent any facts, because she wasn't planning on filing that lawsuit. So he's suing her for defamation because most people, and I count myself amongst most people, didn't realize that she had suddenly dropped his name. And the name of his company, therefore, got dragged through the mud when everything exploded, because journalists are lazy and they tend to just plagiarize. So everyone kept saying that this guy was a defendant. Everyone kept going back to this CRD complaint, making things very complicated. And he is saying, guess what? That hurt my business. That absolutely hurt my business. You defamed me because you never wanted this complaint and to do anything beyond this complaint. And you made all of these allegations knowing that there was nothing that you had no proof. That's why when it came down to filing it in court, you dropped me, because you had absolutely no proof of the allegations that you made. And in a courtroom, it doesn't work like that. You don't get to just write fuzzy things on a piece of paper. You don't get to just draw hearts and say, maybe he's a bad guy too. Maybe he's bad and she's bad too.
And the sad thing is, Atete went to court over sexual harassment before, but yet she seems to be silent on this matter. In fact, let's take a look at this.
Did you have to make some calls? There were a lot of calls made for a lot of songs in this movie. Honestly, like, this movie, I think that, like, when you see it, it feels like a big, beautiful summer movie, but, like, we didn't have any budget. So there were a lot of favors and a lot of begging, and, your niece for Taylor? I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time, all throughout it, so, like, she really lived this with me. Yeah, she was, she's a person who shows up for you.
And then to top it off, the author of the book, there has been a lot of chitter-chatter. I don't know how true it is alleged, but there has been chitter-chatter that she's thinking about suing too, because Well, I think she wasn't given what she was promised to turn on Justin, because at the beginning, she was obsessed with Justin. She loved Justin. She just loved what he was doing with her book, but all of a sudden she turned. So I'm thinking wherever they used to bribe her to come over to the dark side, they did not fulfill that promise, if she is also suing.
Colleen Hoover is allegedly going to sue Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Everything in this video is alleged, not confirmation of validity of allegations. This In the News author is discussing filing a lawsuit against the A- list actress and her significant other. Apparently, promises were made but not kept. And again, this is allegedly Colleen Hoover, who wrote the book It Ends With Us, Blake Lively, and Ryan Reynolds. The related revealed blind item from January of 2025 reads, this A- list actress and her husband promised the A-list author everything would be great. Instead, things have gotten so bad, the author had to deactivate all of her social media. And the related headline reads, Colleen Hoover's silence on Justin Baldoni lawsuit allegedly linked to morality clause in book deal. Conspiracy theory claims Colleen Hoover's silence on Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively lawsuit is tied to a morality clause. New conspiracy theory surrounding It Ends With Us author Colleen Hoover suggests that her decision to stay silent on the ongoing legal dispute between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively is linked to a morality clause in her contract with Baldoni. Lively and Baldoni, who starred in Baldoni's directorial project It Ends With Us, which was released in August 2024, are at the center of this legal issue.
So let's get back to the timeline. So she tried to do all of that mess, forgetting that Justin is actually true to his nature and had never had a complaint against him prior. Also, a very amazing support system. So he came with all the receipts, and their website is published. I recommend reading it. I spent way too much time reading it, but I'm just trying to narrow it down for you guys. The only reason I'm saying it is because this woman downs and disrespects all the women out there who are really dealing with abuse. Like, you're downplaying people's pain for a financial gain. Like, you don't have enough money, but you're downplaying real abuse. So I'm going to say it. Why the hell would he want you anyway? You're very contradictory in your lawsuit. You're like, oh, he was sexually harassing me because he's just so hot for me, he can't keep his hands off me. But in the same note, he's insulting you because you're fat. There's no fat on your body. Play another card. Really. And why would he even want you anyway? Have you seen his wife? An amazing woman. Why would he risk losing her for you? With the drama llama leaking into all of the movies such as Nice Pool, Out of Deadpool, where Ryan is quoted. Look at the back of the book for all the Marvel fans and read what Ryan says. So not only are you admitting that you're jelly, you're also mocking somebody for being a generally nice person. Why? Maybe because you are completely effing incapable of that skill that we all can harbor, right? But clearly you cannot, because we have quotes from your school days, Ryan. We have quotes from your teachers.
But this message arrived in my box, and it's about his first drama teacher from when he was 13 years old. And I think it's interesting to share. And again, this is going to be a much older person. I think that's relevant because there are two people who always tell the truth, and that's senior citizens and toddlers. They just get to a place where they just constantly are telling you the truth about everything, and they don't care what anybody has to think about it or say about it. And so this individual wrote this. I'm cutting off the person's name, obviously, because I'm afraid Ryan Reynolds will go after him. It came in from Alberta, Canada. He said, it may be an odd thing. I was his first acting teacher. True. Summer 1989, he was 12. His parents had gone on a vacation, so grandparents he was left with had him for 3 weeks, as I recall. After a week, they enrolled him in my classes, essentially, as I found out, because they needed a break from him. Within the first 3 days, I had had enough. The other kids had had enough, and their parents were complaining because everything was about him. Self-centered, loud, sneaky, obnoxious, narcissistic, unkind, and deceitful. I spoke to the grandparents that he needed to abide by the expectations, or I'd punt him and give them a refund. The next day, same old, so I kicked him out. 2 days back with the grandparents, They begged me to take him back. So I said on a couple of conditions. I drew up a quote unquote contract, essentially reiterating the initial expectations, but adding behavioral things I had noticed, some behavioral things that I noticed that needed to be addressed. And he had to write an apology letter to the class and either read it to the class or memorize it and present it to the class like a script. And if the other students said no, then no it would be. But I did hold the final say. I work with kids in mental health. I have for decades. This was nothing new to me. So he returned. The kids were a bit shocked, but he was on probation. And then he was asked, Ryan, is there something that you'd like to say to other students here? Yes, if I may. He got up, audience of 15 plus kids, paper in hand. He glanced down at it, started to read it, then stuttered, cleared his throat, swallowed, then started without the paper. Tears started to well in his eyes. I'm so sorry that I, heavy breathing, selfishly stole time from you all as Mr. David was trying to teach us all about acting and I made it about me. And I just want to say that I will do my best to listen and will try really hard not to interrupt. Tears now. And it's just that nobody really listens to me. So sniff, I will try my best to be better. Sorry, full tears. The kids were on their feet, over to give him a hug, etc. Can he come back to our class, please? So I said yes. A few minutes later, he passes by me and under his breath utters, I was acting. Like, it was very scary. I don't know. So I stopped him from walking away and I whispered, I know. I guess he had learned something, but there was a streak in him. I wouldn't trust him. I didn't know if it was evil, insecurity, a ton, fear, psychopathy, arrogance, or just a sociopath, but he was 12. He never says he took an acting course. He turned 13 in October. He had the it factor. I think I still have his first headshot in a box somewhere with 100 other kids that I taught. I just felt like I should share that. I don't know. That one, for some reason, to me, first off, hit to the fact that there is some issues in his background or whatever, which he has admitted in these weird skits. But the other thing was just the ability to switch on and to have a teacher who has a background in mental health, which I was able to confirm, believing that there was some sort of a pathology that was driving that and that he's had that for a very long time. Interesting enough to share, weird. And I just feel like that's creepy to be crying in front of class and turn to teacher and be like, I was acting. Everything that you just saw was not real. It's just giving serial killer dress.
And on top of that, you're even mocking him down to his hair, which he grew so it could be turned into wigs for children with cancer. I hope you feel like shit. I do.
So the reason you're cutting it like that, baby, is because Daddy's gonna donate his hair to somebody who can't grow their hair. Maybe they got cancer, like Uncle Zach, or they lost their hair. So he's gonna give all this hair to somebody. That's why you gotta cut it perfectly, right there. You ready? Okay. Here we go. Right. 1, 2.
So I even.
Yeah! Someone's gonna be so happy to have his hair.
Daddy, it's really
sweet. I love your heart. I'm not crying because I'm losing my hair. I'm crying because you're just going to go to something.
Instead, you post about how your feelings are hurt. Delusional, because people are waking up to the Bollywood. Does that hurt your feelings? Oh, I'm sorry. People are doing their research before jumping on the bandwagon these days. So thank the Lord, but now you're not even allowed to watch the Super Bowl with your Tay-Tay. But we all know that she was watching it with Ice Spice. But you were very noticeably missing, Ryan and Blake.
So famous rapper Ice Spice is going viral for all the wrong reasons after she got caught on camera allegedly manifesting a demon and throwing up signs of the devil right in everybody's face. And this video is going viral.
This prayer because I'm trying to show up for Ice Spice like I'm a Christian. Nah, I'm just trying. No. I'm going to just say this prayer so the Lord can protect us as we go through the rest of the night and the rest of our careers. You know what I'm saying? So everybody hold hands. Hold hands, hold hands. Lord, thank you so much for bringing this amazing group together right now with this amazing stream and our amazing teams, Lord. We are all from the same place and we are all trying to get to the same place, which is the top. And we all want to experience different things in our lives, chat. So thank you so much for bringing all of us together. And I pray that you allow us to grow on other people, on each other. And I pray that you allow us to reach any measures in this life. And just watch over us daily. You bless us. You allow us to bless other people with our
Yo, hold up. Ice Spice is glitching out something crazy right now. It look like she can't even take it right now.
Work in our amazing craft. And you help us enjoy this night. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Listen, we need to
Oh, hold up. Did y'all see that symbol she just threw? She couldn't wait to get the prayer off to throw up that symbol. After she threw up what looked like a devil symbol after prayer, Ice Spice's ex-best friend, Cleo Trapper, went on TikTok to expose her even more and accusing Ice Spice of carrying dark, demonic energy.
We're not going to call it her being blessed because I don't think the Lord will bless somebody like her.
Whoa.
Her soul it doesn't belong to the person above. She is very dark and very soulless. Her energy, I got to witness this very firsthand. I was around her every day, 24/7. And when I would see her, she was dark. She just, oh my God, like, it's even scary to talk about. Like, that girl, she needs to be saved. Like, I don't know if she was always like that, this Hollywood.
A lot of people are very uncomfortable from what they've been seeing through that prayer and how she was glitching out, shivering, twitching, making facial expressions. And then at the end of the prayer, threw up what looked like a satanic symbol, mocking God.
But it's okay, Ryan and Blake, I know your feelings are hurting because she wouldn't let you go. But it's okay, well, maybe not, because I'm pretty much sure she's blaming you for this moment too.
You suck.
Remember, you are the company that you keep. So, she is just as much, if not more, of a narcissist than you guys. So yeah, she also can't fathom that people are mad at her because of her actions as a grown adult. Let's put that out there, a grown adult. Oh no. It's not Blake's fault. That's just like saying that's the pot literally snitching on the kettle right there. So I'm sure by now a lot of you have seen the Justin website with all the receipts. I know spending a lot of time reading it, that's much longer than a lot of you would like to, but that's why you grab your brew and join me, right? So I'd like to sum it all up for you. Everything Blake is saying was self-inflicted by her. When I'm saying by what she's saying she was sexualized because Justin used the word sexy. But she was the one that said, I need my wardrobe to be more sexy. And when he was like, yeah, that's sexy, you can do that, she's like, oh, no, sexual harassment.
On a throne of lies.
So she tried to claim that this man abused her and sexually harassed her. Yet, if you watch my first video with all the lies, and she didn't even know she was mic'd up for that moment, she lies so much that her own lawyer quit, even making a public statement about how this is a smear campaign. This whole girls BS needs to just end. How about that? How about being on the right side? Men can get abused also. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Well, oh, okay, so frustrated with that. So much has gone out the window. Humanity being one. Manners, poise, and respect. No, I'm not a girls. You can't destroy someone's life and get away with it. I stand by what I said. Justin, you should release your version of the movie. And I also stand by, I think you should remake it. I really think you should make it with Scarlett Johansson. I feel like she's just such a better option. And by the way, she also has a remarkable reputation. Everybody talks about how sweet and polite she is to people. Love her, more gorgeous, more talented, and definitely a personality. At this point, you guys really need to turn off your social media and get a better PR team because your life advisors, they are doing a terrible job, I can promise you that. What's that saying? Oh, the truth will always come to light? Yeah, and it is shining down on your guys' life, right? When you mess with such a good person, karma will come back around tenfold. So after Blake and Ryan made this public, Justin just made it publicer. And then Blake attempted to silence them by filing a gag order. I guess that nobody was actually generally expecting that the judge would look at it and be like, no, no, you made it public, so deal with it.
Blake Lively, you can't shut my lawyer up. They tried to get a gag order and the judge denied it today. So it says Justin Baldoni just scored a legal win over Blake Lively because the first court hearing and their beef ended without a gag order for Justin's lawyer. The It Ends With Us stars had their legal teams go before a judge Monday in New York for the first time since Blake filed her $250 million sexual harassment lawsuit against Justin, who fired back with his own $400 million defamation suit. So basically, they've combined these suits into one. No gag order has been put in place. The judge denied Blake's request to not be deposed by Brian Friedman. And then if you look up here, there's an update. It says Blake Lively's attorneys, Michael Gottlieb and Ezra Hudson, tell TMZ, we are pleased with the result of today's hearing and eager to move forward immediately with discovery in this case. The court granted our request that all attorneys in the matter actually follow the rule of law and not make any statements that could prejudice a jury. This case deals with serious allegations of SH and retaliation. We will hold the defendants accountable, and we are confident that once all the evidence is submitted in this matter, Ms. Lively will prevail. We'll see about that, because all the evidence so far, yeah, no way. But what do you guys think in this? I mean, it's a little legal win for Justin right now. No gag order. Cases have been combined, and trial is March 2026.
On top of that, they were also expected to be adding more evidence. Now, keep in mind, they've had a year to do this, but their deadline was actually yesterday as I'm recording this. It was actually set for Valentine's Day because they needed an amendment, and then they did try to request an extension. This ship is sinking. Alright guys, thank you for grabbing a brew with me this week. Please, please, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow and get on the algorithm because I need this algorithm to be rhythming. Again, thank you for grabbing your brew with me. I hope you have an amazing week. Take care.
Like and subscribe.